Are we live? Wait, I think we're live. We still need to intro, Nate.
We hit the button is good enough.
We're here.
Like dancing or something. Yes, we are here. Sorry about the little lateness, people. People are like, Nate is late. This is our channel, so it's not just me alone this time. But no, we're working in the background.
It's always Nate.
Right?
Nate is wrong.
Let me turn this off so it doesn't bother us. All right, cool.
Oh yes, do not.
How's everybody doing today? Yeah, Calgary. What's up, Calgary? Boom. Good morning. Good morning. Late. I like refund. Oh,
come on now. Nate, Nate, you should be happy. You were the first one to comment, I think. I think you said first. I don't know.
No, that wasn't me. I think somebody said first. Nate late. Oh, it's
Native. It is. All right. So we are going to talk a little bit about, we were planning to do this, and I'm actually doing body language on Prince Harry with Gavin Stone. And I'm torturing Gavin. Gavin is English, but he really doesn't like anything to do with the royals whatsoever. So it's fun saying he's my English scholar. He's not exactly. Anyway, the video we're covering today is Harry backpedaling on the message that he and Meghan conveyed in the Oprah Winfrey interview. I do want to set expectations early, though. I have to stop and play the video pretty frequently because it took me 4 tries to get my video through the copyright cartels, if you will, to get it out there. So when we pause, I know it's frustrating, and I'll probably bring it up again. Please be patient with us. We're just trying to get fair use, because they don't only copyright claim, they block it so the video can't be seen anywhere in the world. And we really don't want to have to fight through that for a month. Yeah.
So let's just start with, should we start with the Oprah interview, or should we start with the... I
like to hear what he's claiming, and then we can go look back.
Okay.
I think that's and why not get right into the problematic video. So again, I'll stop and start just to keep this going, hopefully.
A couple of things. You talk about accountability.
Is that on the screen? Yes, it is.
Yes, okay. It's there.
All right, look at this expression. We're starting out just beautifully here.
But I think he was prepared for this question.
Oh, he was prepared for all of them. If you you checked out the interview, right? Remember in the introduction, Tom Bradby said, I've known him for like a big chunk of his life. And I think he was at his wedding, at here, at there. So they go way back. But credit, Bradby isn't quite as fluffy as Colbert, as an example.
Yeah.
Here we go.
In the Oprah interview, you accuse members of your family of racism. You don't even...
Well, the British press said that.
Now, stop it here. Right. Now, one thing I always say about Harry and Meghan is that it's always someone else's fault for everything, right? So, for instance, the reason why she didn't, it was somebody else's fault. So they never just take ownership or anything. And here, I think, is another just clear example of them not taking ownership, of him saying, them heavily implying, from my perspective, they heavily imply.
Well, we're gonna break it down very, very semantically. Yeah. We're gonna play it like a lawyer.
but the point that I definitely want to make here is that they never say we did it. They always say, like, and now his big bad is the British press, and that's exactly what he's talking about. The British press said that. The British press, no, you said it, and you're full of shit. That said the British press said it.
Hold on, the British press and the institution. That's true. And it's always his left hand with institution, by the way. Gavin and I covered this in the Eric Huntley video on body language, but every time, institution, family. Institution, family. He's grooving. But yeah, those are his go-tos. And by the way, Nate, he also has his ace in the hole fail safe. If you come at him for any reason, Meghan says you are what?
Racist.
Harry says
unconscious bias.
No, he says my mommy was killed.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's just let's play the rest of this because we got a lot to get into. We're gonna be
right.
Did Meghan?
Okay, I'm sorry. Right. his reaction says everything. Everything. So
He didn't expect that answer. He doesn't
No.
expect this answer.
They're racist.
Oh, yeah.
hold on.
They're racist.
She said there were trouble.
All right, let me back up. Sorry.
Yeah,
Right.
there you go.
Said that.
Right.
Did Meghan ever mention they're racist?
She said there were troubling comments about
There was concern about his skin color.
Right. Wouldn't you describe that as essentially racist?
I wouldn't, not having lived within that family.
Right.
So
I'm sorry. Somebody has got to meme that. Right.
Right. hold on. Oh, sorry. No, somebody ringing the doorbell, but they're gone.
Nate
Sorry.
is like Grand
I
Central
got like
Station.
all this stuff going.
He lives in New York. New York is at his door, quite literally.
But you know what? It's funny because the interviewer shocked. He's like, hold on. And let's not forget, for like the past 2 years, they've been saying this. Now all of a sudden, it's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. No, it's. Keep the controls away from Eric. Keyboard shortcuts can be dangerous. Anyway, no, his expressions they're completely unrehearsed. You could just tell the reporter's going, wait, what? Because they're always listening for the scoop line. And I could just see every producer on the side going, did you get that? Did you get that? Wait, did you get that? And oh yeah, somebody brought this up. Yes. Tom Bradby was flown out or brought to Montecito for the interview. He said that. All right. So let's see this again.
Right.
Did Meghan ever mention they're racist?
She said there were troubling comments about
There was concern about his skin color.
Right. Wouldn't you describe that as essentially racist?
I wouldn't, not having lived within that family.
Right.
So
You
again,
don't
Okay. And even going back to there, did you see Harry when he first said that? Did you hear Meghan said that? There's a little bit of a duper's delight in that.
Well,
are you familiar with the duper's delight?
No, well, I'm not familiar with duper's delight, but I will say what I'm seeing here is someone who's trying to be hyper critical of his wife's statement, that since she didn't say the actual word racism.
Well, we don't know yet. We got to find it.
No, this is what he just said, right? Did she say the word racist? And it's like, well, no. Well, the thing is that she described racism, right? She didn't have to, it's like if I describe something and don't use the word, that doesn't mean it's not racist, right? They're discriminating against my son because of his skin color. But that's not racism. That's exactly what it is, right? So this whole, because she didn't say the word is stupid, and he knows it's bullshit. And so does the interview.
Well, that's that. By the way, getting back to, remember I said that duper's delight.
Yeah.
When he said, "Did Meghan say that?" He went. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that.
That was a. I got you. That's duper's delight. This sucker's buying my story. This guy's buying my lie. It is very, very prominent in deception detection, if you will. But you could just totally see that. And it's like,
oh, yeah.
Gotcha. So let's see here.
Going back to the difference between what my understanding is, because of my own experience, the difference between racism and unconscious bias, the two things are different. But once it's been acknowledged or pointed out to you as an individual or as an institution that you have unconscious bias.
So now we've slipped in another term.
In
another term.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that the lawyers helped him with this question.
Yeah. So what people don't understand, unconscious bias is as a reaction to events based on overgeneralization. So for instance, if I say Black people are known to dance well. So an unconscious bias is you'll see a Black person, you expect them to be able to dance well because Black people are known for having rhythm. And if that person doesn't, then you'll be like, okay, you believe that, or you assume that because of an unconscious bias. Same
White
thing
people
with
can't jump.
White people can't jump, or whatever, right? You have this thinking of this particular person based on their color. So it's now he's trying to divorce it from racism, but unconscious bias is a form of racism. It's just you don't have the intent to be racist. That's why they call it unconscious bias.
I have another word for it.
Go ahead.
a thought crime.
Essentially, that's what it is. Yeah.
Because let's be honest. Everybody has a quote unconscious bias of some kind. If a poodle walks up to you, or a Yorkshire Terrier, a little tiny dog, you're saying, "Oh, that's a cute little dog." If a big ass Rottweiler comes up to you and looks like they're glowering at you, you might kind of just shift a little bit over here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then they say, "Oh no, it's friendly," and it wags us, but it's
you have an unconscious bias to the big dog, right?
until you get an experience or whatever it is. But unconscious bias is so perfect because you can take anything that you perceive as negative and you can paint a brush. This is inside somebody's mind. So you are doing Minority Report here and persecuting somebody for what supposedly is in their brain. And I'm calling it confession through projection, and it is a thought crime.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't know. It's irritating. Let's continue.
You therefore have an opportunity to learn and grow from that in order so that you are part of the solution rather than part of the problem. Otherwise, unconscious bias then.
Okay, this reporter's just, come on. He's just like sitting there and you can see he's gobsmacked. I think that's a good British term, right?
Yeah.
Because he's going, am I listening to this pile? Am I? Because now he's getting lectured here by Professor Harry, or psychology person Harry. Did you see the Steve Colbert interview with their little?
I did. I saw.
Okay, yeah. We may be talking about that one later. I know Gavin and I are, but yes, he likes tequila a lot. And anyway. I love watching Tom Bradby reacting to this because you could just see his mouth is even hanging open slightly, like.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to react because, again, we'll get into it. The narrative that they were pushing for almost 2 years was one of racism, and now when he's challenged on it, he's trying to essentially rewrite history, and that's the thing that's because again, I think the interviewer was expecting a different answer to the question. But now this answer has mucked it up because he still wants to keep a friendly relationship with Harry, but he's kind of like, do I call out this obvious bullshit lie?
Right. Well, and he was expecting the answer of yes, and that's why we had to get away from the family and blah 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 blah, which has been written, by the way, for a couple years. And here we go. Like Lena Love says, thank you, Harry, for correcting everybody now. Years later, press reported, ran with it in every article. Royal family, racist, over and over and over. But no,
that's what they kept. That's what they kept saying. They kept saying the royal family is racist, and they kept saying it based on what she said. Because no one was saying that before she came out and said this thing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and yeah. And we do have the clips, by the way, folks. We do have them, and you know why? Because I dug hard because Oprah has tried to get that stupid interview off of the internet in every way possible. I found a copy, but why, Oprah? Why would you want one of your most popular interviews of all time ripped off of the interwebs? Why, Oprah? Why?
Because she knows. I think she knows, just like everyone else, that interview was. You know what? Let's when we get to it.
We got to finish with this one.
To it,
rather than part of the problem. Otherwise, unconscious bias then moves into the category of racism.
But I suppose, isn't there a danger that people are going to think bad? You haven't identified which members of the family.
And I will never talk about that. What happens?
But why not? It's not racism. It's unconscious bias.
Oh yeah. It is such a perfect trap. And we're going to see how they laid it out. Okay. It is disgusting.
Very good example of the environment within the institution and why after the Oprah interview, they said that they were going to bring in a diversity cell. That hasn't happened. Everything that they said was going to happen hasn't happened. I've always been open to wanting to help them understand their part in it.
Oh my God. Thank God, Professor Harry, you're there. You're there with your CRT to help us out. Please help us out, Prince Harry. Professor. Oh my God.
Okay,
well, we get the point. I'd say that's a pretty hard backpedal. Anybody in chat disagree?
I don't even call it. I won't even call it a backpedal. I'm calling it a straight up mischaracterization of what happened. He's saying they never. He's essentially saying they never implied, nor did they ever say that his family, that the royal family, was racist. That's what he's saying now.
And how dare you? So let's go. Okay, let's look at it now, Nate.
So let's go to the Oprah interview and hear exactly what was said.
I want to hear what each of them said, because there's two parts to this interview. You know, Oprah spent a lot of time with her girlfriend Meghan and talked to her for a while. So let's watch this intro.
In those months when I was pregnant, all around this same time, so we had in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title.
Pause.
And also,
now, just so everybody understands, the reason why
You're going to jump in on that lie too?
But yeah, the reason why he wasn't given a title
Yes.
was because the way it always worked. It's been working like this for 100 years.
Yeah, not always. It got changed with Queen Elizabeth's grandfather, I believe, that changed the law to state there were fewer. Like the great grandchild has to be direct line, and everybody else it cannot get a title. It has to be three generations or two or whatever.
Well, just to be clear, no, the way it works is it's worked for over 100 years. I forgot the name of the king that actually put it in
That's
place.
why I said it was Elizabeth's grandfather.
But maybe it was her grandfather. Well, yeah, you're right, probably right. But
she was in there for 70, Nate.
I forgot she's been there for so long. But one thing, when he put it in, the way it worked is that Harry's children would not be princes or princesses while the queen was alive.
Correct.
And at that time that she's talking this interview, the queen is alive. So she knows that this is not true. It's not because it was his race. Because don't forget also too, so everybody understands, the only grandchildren given the HRH titles was William's grandchildren, because he's the heir apparent. She has something like 20-something other grandchildren. None of them have the title of prince or princess because of this particular rule. Great grandchildren, I should say.
Right. Now, in fairness, it has been stated that behind the scenes that Charles, because remember, Charles is very into modernizing the royal family, from what I understand, that the rules may have been changed again to tighten the number up even more, because apparently I think they did it in Norway and
Denmark.
Okay, sorry. And it was almost cruelly done there, because they had princes
and they ripped the titles back.
Well, yeah, who are no longer. It's like they're sort of like Pluto. You know, once we're a planet, now they're nothing.
Well, they are still part of the royal family, but they just don't have the titles and are not, because don't forget with those titles comes things like diplomatic immunity, things of that nature, right? So not having those titles kind of gives you that leeway to you know what I'm saying? So you know, and like you're saying, King Charles did want to modernize and narrow the monarchy. So now that he's become king, the automatic thing hasn't, you know, because he was supposed to automatically become a prince when Charles became king, and that hasn't happened yet. So we'll see how that.
Well, because he rescinded his titles, he's not a working royal. So you know, some of this is being brought on by their own actions. That's in my opinion. I don't know, and the thing is that whole royal lineage, there's actually a science to that I don't completely understand either. Admittedly, it's weird, but but the titles, in as far as what is possible, she was lying, because the law quite literally prohibited, even if if they wanted to, Elizabeth would have to rewrite the law to, you know, change and go against her grandfather or whomever it was.
The royal patents, as they call it. Go ahead.
Be given a title, and also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What?
In those.
So let's leave it on that perfect expression.
No.
There we go. Now, this is important too. I want to leave it on that expression, Nate, because I think you'll agree with me that reaction is very much part of the message.
Yes. Because, for instance, I'll even tell you my own experience. My first daughter she was like Eric's color. She was like really, really light skinned. So light skinned when they pulled her out, I was like, oh my God, this is my baby. Then I was like, we might be going to Maury. Because see, this skin color, this ain't it, right? And I was always saying about my wife gave me a possible. Like it's bad spades here, and I got a possible. But obviously, when she got pregnant again, I was like, hey, I wonder if my mom and was messing with us. And she's like, I wonder if you're going to have another white baby or is it going to be a black baby? Like, so we all joked around about it, but it wasn't anything racism, right? Because if you have, if you have even a mixed couple or somebody who's light skin or dark skin, sometimes you'll inquire. I wonder if there'll be a boy. I wonder if there'll be a girl. I wonder if they're light skin or dark skin. Those are not racist questions to just inquire about. Go ahead, Eric.
Well, no. I was going to say, and by the way, your wife, I believe, delivers babies.
Yes, she does.
Am I incorrect to say that some white babies are purple or damn near, or different colored, and some quote black babies are actually incredibly pale, and then they just change. They grow into
change over time. Yeah,
their pigment, whatever it is. So the whole thing's kind of ludicrous, isn't it?
Yeah, because yes, just because someone asked that question doesn't mean they were asking because of race. They could be mean. They could just be curious, right? Hey, she's half black. You're white. Do you think the baby's going to come out with a tan or anything like that? What do you guys think? That I think is it's reasonable, and it doesn't have to be racist. But I think they needed this to be perceived as racist.
Right. Well, okay. Here, I'll give you an alternative to the question, because maybe they were questioning. Let's look at mom. Maybe they were questioning, will the baby even be dark?
Yeah.
Because I am not kidding, and I know I'm not the only one. I didn't know that Meghan Markle was a, quote, person of color.
No, well, again, I think Meghan Markle's a person of color when it suits her, when it benefits her.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
She took many roles that were essentially a Caucasian character.
She said this woman has never lived a day of her life as a woman of color. And when she became the royal family and it became advantageous for the story for her to be a woman of color, then that's when she was, I'm a woman of color, this. But yeah, this person has never lived, and she's even admitted it. She didn't have any of the same experiences because everyone assumed she was white.
Yeah, I would. And I could see somebody, I don't know. I could see somebody asking, well, I don't know, will the baby even be dark? I mean, look at mom. Mom does not come off as black. I'm sorry. She just doesn't. And I find that very interesting. So, okay, we've got the what Meghan said. And no, she did not use the word racism.
No. But she did say that her son was being discriminated against by the royal family because of his skin color, which essentially is describing racism without saying the word.
But
would you hold on, fair?
If we're going to get semantic, she didn't say it was because of it. She said he's getting discriminated against and not getting his titles. And there were conversations about his skin color. I mean, maybe I should go back to it because there's two separate statements, but put together in a way that makes you run them together in your head. You
don't have the other because there's a second part to this, which I have to find.
What, with Harry?
I think I have it. No, with Meghan, where Oprah straight up asked her. She's like, "Are you saying because of his race that he doesn't?" And she's like, "Yes, that would be a fair assumption to make." Like she like straight up asked her. Hold on, I'll have the clip, but pull the next clip because I'll pull it up.
Okay, yeah, please do, because I've all right. So got this clip. Okay, we're going to Harry here. Hold on.
So this is Harry saying it.
Here we go. Hold on. Renee, that's why I said quotation marks. Okay. Thank you. All right, so here we go. We're getting into Harry time.
Meghan shared with us that there was a conversation with you about Archie's skin tone. What was that conversation? And yet, Meghan shared with us that there was a conversation with you about Archie's.
Now, by the way, I left the other one in there because you notice how he was all zoomed in on him, nice and tight for that little initial blink. And then that was the tease, coming up before commercials. Then now we're going into the part where she actually asked that.
Skin tone.
Mm-hmm.
What was that conversation?
That conversation, I'm never going to share.
Probably because it didn't happen.
But
probably because maybe the conversation didn't exactly go the way you want it to go. I mean, think about it here for a second. It's like, Nate, they said something really bad. And you're going to say, well, what did they say, right?
Of course.
Nate, I can't tell you that. It's so offensive. It's just too offensive for me to tell you what they said, but it's bad. It's really bad.
Oh my God, this is insane. It's insane. But let's hear the way they flush it out, because again, to me, this sounds like he's calling them out for racism. It just seems like they are. But again, I may be wrong.
But at the time it was awkward. I was a bit shocked.
Can you tell us what the question was?
No, I'm not comfortable sharing that.
Okay.
But it was shocking.
All right, hold on.
But that.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
That was right.
Are we playing or not? You said, hold on.
Play it.
Oh,
right at the beginning, right?
Let me think it back. Okay.
But that was right at the beginning, right?
Like, what will the baby look like?
Yeah, what will the kids look like?
Yeah, what will the kids look like?
But
so
that was right.
That I think is that's exactly what we're saying. Yeah, what the kids are going to look like. It's going to be interesting, that type of thing. But so how did that turn into, they're racist? That's what we're talking about, right?
Well, and also, hold on, don't pull that one up yet.
Oh no, sorry,
we've got to finish it. We could be asking the same. Wait, which, who, where? Okay. We could be asking the same question of whether they're going to be ginger or not. And here we go. Jenny J saying he himself speculated on the genes, which seems to be strong because he talks a lot about being ginger.
Yeah.
So that might be a question too. Like, is the kid going to be ginger? And I think he said somewhere, I'll have to find it again, that he didn't see the ginger genes holding out or something like that. Yeah. Some remark like that, which is very, very weird. For sure. So let's continue. Is that the right one?
At the beginning, when she wasn't going to get security, when members of my family were suggesting that she carries on acting because there's not enough money to pay for her and all this sort of stuff, like there was some real obvious signs before we even got married that this was going to be really
Meghan.
All right.
Well, but again, I do want to clarify if they believed that when that statement was made and they're calling it racist, they're implying it's racist. If it wasn't racist, like Harry's saying, then why not just say who said it, right? Mm-hmm. There's no issue then. And the reason why they're not saying who said it is because they know.
Well, they're also not saying what was said. They're also not saying what was said. They're letting you fill in the blanks, Nate. I mean, it is well done. But it's a manipulation.
Let me play the part where Oprah straight up asked her. Here it is. Here's Oprah, who's going to straight up ask her.
I don't hear anything.
Oh, let me see if I can. You know what? I got to do a
You got to drag it into a tab.
Yeah, so I can be played. Sorry, people. Oh, you know what? Let me pull up a YouTube video. And pull up my YouTube video, my last one. So it's on there. So what I'm going to do is we're going to play the clip of where Oprah just straight up asked Meghan, was he being discriminated based on race? And then then you guys listen to her answer. Forget about the rest of the part of the video that's going to be played. But listen to the answer and then let me know if was it her or is this are we being unreasonable in thinking that she's saying that the family's racist. Here it is right here.
I've got it, Nate. Hang on.
Oh,
if you don't.
No, I know the timestamp too. That's what I want to get.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Never mind. Shoot.
Yeah, you got to get the timestamp too.
No, I it hasn't processed on Google yet, but it's like 33 minutes in the full interview.
Oof. All right, hold on. I'm almost there. Sorry about the technical problems, people.
This is what you call doing it on the fly.
That's true. That's true. But right now, I think just listening to it, I understand why he doesn't want them to see. He doesn't want it to seem like they were saying the family's racist. But that it's not based in reality, especially with the rest of the stuff that we haven't even shown yet, but which we'll get into. But here is my last video, and I want to show you guys. There's this clip.
I wasn't able to follow up with why, but that if that's the assumption you're making, I think that feels like a pretty safe one. I think that would be very damaging to them.
So here it is.
So how does one have that meeting?
That was relayed to me from Harry. Those were conversations that family had with him. And I think it was really hard to be able to see those as compartmentalized
Because they were
conversations.
concerned that if he were too brown, that would be a problem. Are you saying?
So so we're clear on the question that there were concerns that if he was too brown, that there would be problems. And she's going to ask, are you saying that? So listen.
Too brown, that would be a problem. Are you saying that?
I wasn't able to follow up with why, but that if that's the assumption you're making, I think that feels like a pretty safe one.
I love it though, because they're still ducking. She didn't say it. If that's your assumption,
then that would be a pretty fair one. Like how was that not saying they're racist?
Right? Dude, I'm just saying this is pure statement analysis. Where she never said it directly. Okay, it's the same routine about. You ask me, Eric, did you put your hand in the till and take that cash? I would never do that.
Yeah.
I didn't outright no. This is actually the reverse of it, though. She's like, when I say I would never do that, I'm trying to lay out a statement that makes you think that I said, no, I didn't do that.
Yeah, but she would say something like,
she's reversing that into,
I would do that.
She's putting the lines and putting the dots together so you connect them. And then later, I didn't do it.
It's the media's fault. It's the media's fault. Like but to me, that's straight up saying they're racist, right? As soon as you say it's a fair assumption, if that's the assumption you're making, I think it's a fair assumption to make. That means that you're essentially saying that they're racist. And everybody took it as racist. Everyone from the left-wing media to right-wing media, everybody took that as her calling them racist. No?
And by the way, no corrections. They have a press office. I did not see a single statement from them. Have you? Saying you have misinterpreted my comments. Now, this is important because remember, Harry wrote about the number of kills he had in Afghanistan. And he's out there right now saying, no. Within one day, I believe he was going against that statement, right?
Yeah, he pulled it back.
They're very capable. If that was not to be interpreted as racism, do you think anyone would have reported his reply saying that was misinterpreted?
No.
Exactly. He managed to do it with the Taliban stuff. I think that they could have done it then. The only reason I can consider that they would not do that is, guess what? You got the message that I am trying to send.
Oh, yeah. So I wanted to also move us to the next part.
That's right. She got it. They got an award for doing it.
But first, let me set it up before I even get to this. So for about a year and a half, 2 years, they had let this just lay out there, right? And everybody's saying the royal family's racist. The royal family's racist. They are full of racists, right? And this was obvious racist. We can play you the clips. And people were fired. Piers Morgan was fired because he challenged the fact that she said this was racist. Piers Morgan was like, yo, this is racist. This is not racist. There's no evidence of this. And they fired him. They were like, you questioning this white woman who looks black, saying it's racist. So they let him go from Good Morning Britain.
Mm-hmm.
And then, now a year after that, they get this award from the Kennedy Center. And here is what they got the reward for.
Hold on.
Prince Harry, go ahead.
You're forgetting one very important element. Who handed them the award?
It was, what's her name? Kennedy, right? No.
It's worse.
Who was it?
And thank you, Superstorm Day. To the chat. Alec Baldwin.
Oh, yeah.
You can't make this up. Alec freaking Baldwin was a presenter of the event and giving them the award. Good company for them, huh?
That explains a lot. That explains a lot. But that's that's crazy. But now, so now they get an award. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle to receive prestigious Human Rights Award for calling out structural racism within the royal household.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they could have easily come back and say, well, hold on, this story is untrue. We didn't say they were racist, right? Right? This is untrue.
Yep.
But then we get the next one. Here's the next one. Prince Harry and Meghan honored for fighting racism.
I see that.
So,
RFK behind them. Look at them. Look at the smile. They're proud. They're proud of this
accepting
moment.
an award. So my whole thing is, if you're accepting an award for racism, right?
Or anti-racism.
Or anti-racism, like
Yeah.
Here's TMZ. Prince Harry and Meghan accept award for anti-racism award gala for calling out royal family. So they went and accepted an award for doing exactly what we thought they were doing, calling out racism. Then they accepted an award. Yes, we called them out. We're humanitarians of the year. How could you now say that you
I
weren't
didn't say that.
Yeah, you got an award for saying it. What are you talking about? You know.
You can't make this up, man.
You can't. You got an award. You got an award for literally calling out the racism. Well, you know, the racism the alleged racism, I want to say. It doesn't matter. Now it's funny because now people are saying they should give back that award, and that's the you know that's an interesting question. Do you people in the chat think they should give back the anti-racism award because it was all built upon a lie that they called out the royal family for racism? Give me a 1 in the chat if you think they should return the award, or a 2 in the chat if you think they should keep it.
I was thinking that our dear friend Steph, the altar nerd, says something about cactus and chili and backsides. I was thinking that maybe they could move the award to a new location, like up their posteriors. What do you think?
Yeah, they should definitely shove it up their blank. But so people don't think that I am crazy. The news, people are actually telling them they should give back the award because they got it under false pretense. Look, Harry and Meghan urged to hand back award for stance on royal family racism after U-turn. You get an award for calling out your racism, and then then you want to keep the award? The award's got to go back. I don't see how can you keep that award knowing that you got it, and now Harry has the balls to say no. We never. Of course, we never called him out for being. What are you talking about?
Oh, it's. I mean, it's remarkable. It is truly remarkable. But then that's them, right? If we say, by the way, this is one thing I love, and I've got to find the sound clip of it. When he started his book tour, and I hope everybody has pulled this to meme it everywhere. He said that the book is finally his words. Remember, he said it. These are my words, not the press, not the big bad media, my words. Now, first thought was you had a ghostwriter, dummy.
That's true too, yeah.
but I'll back off on that. I'll back off. Okay, you had a ghostwriter. Many people have a ghostwriter. Fine. I will assume you vetted it. But when you write this book and you're making statements, like I obviously will be bringing up Afghanistan again, but it is a big deal. Mm-hmm. Your words, buddy.
Yeah.
Your words. And I guess he thrashed a school marm in this, like a headmaster at a school. Just, this guy's interesting here. But I think we may be going through a long tour of revisionist history where he's manipulative with his language.
Well, they've been doing this. They've been doing this with everything now. For instance, Meghan Markle's mother Meghan Markle was raised by her father from the age of 9 through college, and he paid for everything from the private schools through college. Right? That's been well documented. Everyone knows.
Yep.
In a Netflix documentary, she says that she was raised by a single mother. That was an obvious lie. And it's funny because most of the news media called it out. They're like, no, she wasn't, right? It's well documented that she lived with her father from the age of 9 on.
There's statements from her saying that her dad did blah, 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 blah. Now Thomas Markle's found missing from her life.
And on top of that, and she said her mother raised her as essentially as a single woman, but that's just not the case. It's a total lie. But no one, the problem is the media doesn't want to call them out on their lies because, it's one of those things where they don't want to be called racist. And right. I think Meghan Markle has the best world in the world. She's a white woman who now can scream racist. If you say anything about her line, she can scream racism. You're a racist. Even though, and then when you say, well, you said they were racist. No, I didn't claim they're racist, and you're racist for thinking I claim they're racist. It's like, what the hell here, man?
Yeah, there's this out there too. Dory's, a lot of people are claiming that there is a record out there. I don't know.
I've not seen it, yeah.
For sure. So for now, I will say that there isn't. I'm just going to assume a negative on something like that until, some evidence comes otherwise.
Yeah. I don't know I wouldn't know what any of that is, but just to be clear, claiming someone committed a crime and not being sure if they committed that crime, that can lead you into some trouble. I don't know if this woman committed a crime or not, but I'll honestly say I wouldn't be surprised, but I just don't know. And I would suggest that everyone would assume that she has not committed any crime until you have proof that she has.
Right. And I would say that the worst I'd accuse her of is maybe not completely committing motherhood.
Yeah. She was raised, her father took care of her. And that's the part that you could say, hey, listen, I was raised by my father, but I'm tight with my mom now, that's fine. But then to straight up lie and try to pretend that her mom was the one that raised her. It's like, does she really? But you know what it also shows? She thinks that we're that stupid that we would just accept her lies on face value, just like they think that, because that's what this thing to me makes me feel like Harry thinks that I'm so dumb, I'm such an idiot. He can call his family racist. He can go collect an award that says, "Hey, my family's racist," and then when challenged, he can say, "Well, I never said that, so it was the media made that up." He thinks we're that dumb. He thinks we're idiots that we'll believe that. That's the problem.
The thing is, though, he's in a really unique position. And by that, I mean, his only identity, the only thing he has of any value whatsoever is his birthright, his title.
Yeah.
His family. At the same time, the guy is talking about nothing but, privacy and I want to get away and we just want to be left alone. But let's be honest, Meghan has a less than nothing because what does she have in her own right? A B-list actress, maybe? I mean, TV actress. I'll just say TV actress.
She was a supporting actress on a cable show on the USA Network.
I'm elevating her already. I'm trying to be nice, Nate. Okay, but that's it, right? So without his title, there is no story. There is nothing. So the whole thing to me is just a complete, utter joke of they're going around saying, oh, privacy. Oh, leave us alone. Oh, pay us $100 million and you can have our story.
Well, hold on, Eric. I got to challenge that statement you just made because you said that they were going around saying they want privacy. Here they go. Here's Harry and Meghan. They're saying that's fake news. Oh. They're saying that they denied they asked for privacy, and that's a distorted narrative. That's what they're saying. They had their rep come out and say they never asked for privacy. That's a distorted narrative. It's fake news.
I see. Yeah.
Okay. Everything, right? Everything these people say, you don't know. They say we want privacy. We say, okay, give them privacy. And then they come out and say, we never said that. They said the family's racist. We say, okay, the family's racist. They come out and say, we never said that. This is crazy. This is insane. Like, what the hell's going on? Do they really think we don't see this stuff? You know, I'll never understand it. Or is this one of those narcissistic things where it's just when you're a narcissist, you are just going to say whatever you needs to be said in that moment just to get past that interaction?
Yeah, well, I mean, it could be, but I mean, think of the bubble that he's been in, right? Where essentially everybody has to kiss his ass because he's a prince.
That's true, yeah.
And he also has, I think, in many ways, a case of arrested development. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know if that's an actual thing out there, but it seems to me that when his mom passed, he stopped maturing. That we're literally looking at a 12-year-old in his reactions, his statements, oh, I didn't say that. Think about it. You argue with your kids right now, Nate, right?
Yeah.
Is some of the stuff coming out of his mouth similar to what you hear from your daughters?
Yeah, it's one of those you can't believe what you see. You got to believe what they tell us. So we should take care of these super chats.
Oh yeah, Georgina, thank you. These two have destroyed themselves. Yes. Yeah, I'd like Oprah and Gayle King to face an interview too to show receipts. Again, why did you take your interview down, Oprah? Why have you fought so hard for it to not be out there? And trust me, it's tough to find. Took me some time. And let me see. I can't stand either of them. We are smart. Yes. I mean, yes. Harry's been protected his whole life in a lot of ways. And he's in a bubble, but it gets even worse because he's in a bubble. Everybody's kissing his ass and he has no actual responsibility. I know he has had some, right? Mm-hmm. But his brother has the weight of everything on his shoulders. Harry is like a trust fund baby. That's the best way I can think of it. Just born rich, spoiled, given all the education in the world. And then he had something tragic happen to him, and he pulls that out every single time. I got a problem. Mommy died.
Yeah.
You said this. Mommy died.
The press
you
killed
did
Mom.
This action. Mommy died. You dressed up in bad uniforms and really represented yourself poorly. Kate and William told me to do it.
Now, the one of the more interesting parts of even his mother's death, which I feel for the kid. I feel for him so much. You're losing your mom at the age of 12 in that type of environment, and she probably the only, kind of think to reality. And even if you think about it, when he talks about his mom, he talks about he thought she was alive for a whole bunch of years. He didn't think it was real. Like he never really. It doesn't seem like he really confronted it head on. He just kind of went away, and he still probably has hopes that she's still alive. But what I think happened to Harry is that when you he hasn't had to want for anything, and when you have everything given to you, it's like, what do I do next? What do I do next? And instead of him seeing the glass as half full, he's seen it as half empty, and it's a shame because I think he was the most famous royal. He was the most liked royal,
most popular. In a lot of ways, people just liked him. It's like fun. By the way, he resembles somebody else who was very, very popular. Randy Andy. Remember, people. Okay, it's been a few years because of the Epstein stuff, but honestly, Andrew was very liked because Charles
Prince Andrew.
Prince Andrew. Charles is very dour. Yeah. King Charles is known for being kind of a downer. And then the Crown series played on that hard and implied that his sister was calling him Eeyore, like from Winnie the Pooh. So they really hammered that in, on the perception, but that is the public perception. But Andy, Prince Andrew, he was kind of the fun one. Queen Elizabeth really liked him. He was sort of spoiled, brother, from what I understand. Well, that's Harry. isn't he? From
Yeah.
what I understand, he was the baby in both ways. He was the youngest and the baby.
But
and then that got taken away.
Yeah, I don't think he ever really grieved his mother's death. Like, one of the things that I think most people don't realize is that he's trying to essentially say the press killed his mother, which I think they had where there was an element of that to it, because don't forget, they were running from the paparazzi like everybody does, right? Who were that famous.
Yeah, even that's a dispute, because we
But-
don't know if they were playing chicken
Yes.
with them, or we don't know the circumstances of it all. It's weird.
But when you do read the police report, the driver of the car was drunk.
Yep.
So that was the reason they were like, well, listen, if this person was not drunk, so the accident was caused by a drunk driver. He happened to be drunk driving a car, and that's where they got into the accident. But now the reason, so Harry doesn't want to blame the guy who was drunk who drove the car. He wants to blame what essentially they were running from. Now it's that type of thing that I think that he hasn't really gravitated to. Like, yes, your mom died, yes, the press, but they chase him, they chase everybody. But understand that what really happened to your mom was someone was driving drunk, and just like all other families have to deal with something like that, she was killed by a drunk driver. It's horrible, but that reality, I think nobody just smacked him and said, this is what actually happened. Yes, everything else it's valid, your feelings and everything else is valid, but just confront the facts of the situation.
Well, also he doesn't have gravity. See, the problem is that he can sit and wallow in it. But no offense, his brother lost his mother too.
Yes. And like
his brother doesn't have time to wallow in it. His brother knows that he is going to be king. His brother has to act a certain way and is continuing to.
Well,
Harry doesn't have that gravity, that extra responsibility, and I think it does make it a challenge.
But to be fair, though, he was 12. His brother was what, like 17,
15.
18 or something like that? Brother was 15. So, the difference in age may have also had something to do with it, because, a 15-year-old and a 12-year-old, a 12-year-old needs their mother a lot more than I think a 15-year-old does. You know what I'm saying? Because you're still in that age. So, I don't know. I feel a little bit.
I'm not questioning his feelings. I am questioning the fact that he didn't have any gravity.
Yes. Okay.
To help him move on.
Yes.
Because William was suffering too, but he has so much. I think that might have been helpful. I mean, he does have to think about other things. Harry didn't have, in my opinion, the same amount of distractions. He couldn't fake it until he made it, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, listen, we want to ask you guys. Thank you, Tom. For you people in the comment section, the question is simple. Should they give back this award they won for calling out racism in the royal family? This prestigious award, the Kennedy Center honors, should they give it back? Or should they keep it? Because again, right now, Harry's saying that it wasn't true. They didn't call out the royal family for racism. So, what was this award for? I personally think they should give it back.
Okay.
Oh, Georgina gave us a $50.
Wow, thank you, Georgina. I'm a U.S. citizen, Army brat, never been into the royal family, but of course I know who they are. I'm more supportive of Prince William and his wife, the Queen, and now King Charles and his wife, because of all this crap. Thank you, Eric and Nate, for keeping me calm. You're very welcome. Thank you, Georgina. Thank you so much.
You. Oh, somebody said do a poll, but we're not going to do a poll because we want you to tell us in the comment section, because we read the comments. We read the comments, and sometimes we'll argue back in the comments. So that's why. So if you guys don't mind, let us know in the comments. Like personally, I think they should give this award back, because everyone knew what this award for. Everybody, and then to go and accept this award.
Or own it. Either give it back or say, yeah, I meant that. That's exactly what we meant to say. So now, one or the other. Either you own your remarks, Harry, and your wife's, or you give it back. One or the other.
But with that said, thank you for watching. And for Eric Humley, my name is Nate the Lawyer, and we are going to see you next time.
See you.
Peace.